Do our hitters really need us? That's the topic of this week's video blog. Welcome to TroyPSilva.com. This week's episode is sponsored by Baseballism. Check that out. Also put in your code BaseballTruth for a limited time only, I think through March 1st. You get 15% off on all of their merchandise. So Baseball Truth under Baseballism.com. Go get your gear, go get your hats, hoodies, everything. They're awesome. Do they really need us, coaches, hitters? Do they really need us? I think these days we have to come to conclusion that the good hitters don't really need a lot from us. They need to be encouraged, they need to be challenged, they need to be broken down sometimes, they need to be patted on the back sometimes, they need to be given maybe some minor mechanical information, maybe some approach information, maybe we help them with scouting reports or whatever it is, but do they really need us? I don't really think so. I think great hitters can hit no matter what. Now, the great hitters are special. The great hitters, I just look at all the great hitters that I've known throughout my life, and it's like, I work with them sometimes, and I'm like, they kind of figure this out on their own. They don't really need us. The hitters that are kind of average, that maybe struggle a little bit, those are the ones that need some help. Those are the ones that we need helping with, or to help them do whatever it is they're trying to do at the plate. But at the same time, we have to come to grips, they don't really need us. We can help them, but they don't need us. So what this episode is all about is giving them what they need, but also letting them figure it out themselves. I think too many times we as coaches, we want to help, right? So we see a hitter struggling for whatever reason they're struggling with, and our instant mindset is we need to help them, we need to help them, we need to help them. We have to, as coaches, learn how to help them help themselves. And I think that's where we fail a lot these days, is it's too busy for us, like fixing things. We see a swing go wrong and we're like, hey, do this, do that, do this. We see them pop up in a game and you instantly go to, hey, fix this, fix that. And it's always like us helping them fix themselves, which is not necessarily a bad thing. What is a bad thing is us letting them fix themselves or teaching them how to fix themselves. And the other part is actually letting them figure it out themselves a little bit. I think too much time is spent sometimes going, hey, you're always wrong. I think hitters these days are so filled with negativity. They're always being told what they're doing wrong, what they're doing wrong, what they're doing wrong. And they come to the plate with this negative approach because they're always thinking about don't do this wrong. And I don't think it's anybody's fault. I just think it's the culture with where we're at with baseball hitting instruction and softball hitting instruction. But at the same time, I think we need to be aware of it and really think about what we're doing. What's the goal when we teach a hitter? Is the goal for us to perform the swing for them? Is the goal for us to get it done for them? We're not going to be able to stand on deck every swing that they, or every at bat that they have, every swing that they take and say, hey, you did this, you did that, do this, do that. We're not going to be able to do that. At some point, they got to have their own approach. They got to have their own swing. They have to have their own ways of fixing whatever it is they struggle with. They got to be able to make their minor adjustments on their own swing flaws, and they got to figure it out themselves. So this isn't a video to say, hey, roll back, don't do anything, don't teach them anything. This is a video to say, let's try to teach them to teach themselves. And this is a hard thing to do. I think sometimes I gotta, kind of reel back the horns, if you want to call it, and say, hey, I'm gonna let you figure this out a little bit. I'm gonna let you take 10 swings on your own, and I'm not gonna say a word. It's a hard thing to do, but I want you to try to figure out what you're feeling. I want you to figure out how to fix it, and I want you to figure out what it is you're truly struggling with. Because these days kids are told what they're struggling with. They're told what they messed up on versus them figuring out. Because in a game, they're gonna have to figure it out on their own. And that's the whole purpose of doing this video, is to, number one, inform you coaches and players that are listening to this that it's about them. They got to figure it out. And number two, how do we do that? We do that by asking them questions like, hey, what did you feel on that swing? Instead of saying, hey, you did this wrong, I ask them, hey, what'd you feel on that swing? And get them to think about it themselves. Oh, I felt this, I felt that. Oh, okay, what are you gonna do to try to fix that? Versus do this to try to fix that. You see what I'm saying? So ultimately, the ultimate goal is get them to be able to make these adjustments on their own in a game so that their on-field performance is there. I see it too many times. I see kids go, do some lessons with me or whatever, and then they go to the game and they're struggling on whatever it is they're struggling with. And I'm thinking, are you making your own adjustments? Are you looking to your parent in the stands after every at-bat to see what you're doing wrong? Do you get your sign at third base, coach, and you go, coach, am I pulling my head or whatever? Or do you get in there with the attitude of, I'm figuring this out, it's my game, it's my at-bat, it's my career, I'm gonna get it done. So Again, the instruction is important. We have to teach kids. They don't need us though. You got to come to grips with that. They don't need us. Some kids need us. Most kids, most elite hitters don't need us as coaches. What we need to do is teach them to teach themselves. We need to teach them things that they actually need. Sometimes the best thing to do is not even say anything mechanically at all. Is just encourage them. Hey, you're doing great. Hey, you barely missed that pitch. Hey, get them next time. And sometimes kids are get a little cocky and they need a slice of humble pie sometimes, and you need to tell them, hey dude, you're not that good. You need to get your butt in there and work and get back to the things you used to do to compete, because you're not working very hard. Some kids need to be pushed in the back. Some kids need to be patted in the back, and that's our job as coaches, to figure that out. The best hitting coaches that I know are the ones that don't go initially right into mechanical information. They dive deep into the hitter's psyche, and they understand that they have to teach them to teach themselves so that they can fix themselves. We can't swing for them. We can't do it for them. Ultimately, they got to figure it out on their own. So hopefully this is an encouragement to just kind of step back a little bit, give them information, but teach them to teach themselves, and you'll see that ultimately they'll be able to perform better in the game. And you'll see one major thing too. You'll see a kind of a weight lifted off their shoulders when they compete and play now, because they're not relying on somebody else to perform for them. They're relying on themselves to get it done. So hope this video helps. God bless. Have a good day.